Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel on finding your best path to your best emotional and physical health. Please remember to subscribe if you like what you hear and share this information with anyone else that you think might benefit from it. And feel free to connect with me on the website for some personal one-on-one coaching so that we can get you on your right path that you wish to be on. So today's episode is going to be a little brief. It's just kind of some additional guidance on developing an eating plan in our series on weight loss and how to change those behaviors that affect our overall weight. And I just wanted to talk briefly about how important it is to have a plan to do that. We've talked about setting goals, and then you need to put those goals into action by purchasing the items that you need to do and then making the slow changes that you need. There's a lot of different diet plans. I don't like to use the word diet because I think that's very restrictive and people have real negative thoughts about diet. And I find it much more useful to figure out, okay, what kind of lifestyle changes that you want to make so that you can find your best health and change the things that you want to change. There's some dietary changes that are very universal and seem to help people with the very best ability to get better and to heal. And so those things include eating less processed foods, okay? That's the number one thing. Eating whole foods. You might hear the term shop outside the grocery store. I'm always surprised at how many people haven't heard that. It seems to be very prevalent these days. So shop the outside aisles, like the produce, dairy, meats, those kinds of things. The least processed foods, the better. Increasing vegetables in any diet, regardless of whether you're doing paleo or Whole30 or keto or calorie restriction, whatever you're doing. Vegetables are going to be key because they're high in fiber and they're typically a little bit low in carbohydrates when you balance the fiber and the carbohydrates. So those things need to be considered. So I'm not going to get into detail about specific diets because there's a lot of things that need to go into those. And some people are going to be interested in trying fasting and where you might be some time limited eating. That's been proven to be one of the best ways in order to really change your insulin resistance, which we talked about in one of the other videos. Calorie restriction can also help with that, especially when you're reducing overall sugars. So whether or not you're deciding, okay, I'm going to focus just solely on calories, then, or whether or not you're going to focus on sugars or fats or whatever it is that you want to focus on. They have found that, calories are not created equal, which is definitely true because some calories are going to burn much faster and leave you feeling hungry at the end. And then you're going to end up with nutritional deficiencies and wanting to eat other foods, even though you ate possibly enough calories, but they just burned really quick and left you feeling down and tired. So if you're going to look at something like a ketogenic diet or you're going to try to burn more fats, which are a little bit longer burning, or whether or not you're going to try to fast so that your body will burn fat that it already has, those kinds of things are important to consider and actually do a little bit of research on before you move forward. One of the other things that I've found to be really, really important is meal prep. You have to be able to make these plans and prep throughout the week, because I've found that people tend to, if they don't have a plan, they tend to overeat or let themselves get hungry and get in a pinch or a time crunch because they're rushing home to do whatever, and then they end up going through a drive-through. Only one has to drive around the town that I live in at 5 o'clock and see the lines of cars in the drive-thrus to know that people are still really struggling with eating highly processed, highly inflammatory, fat-laden foods because they're in a hurry. So some of those things need to be considered when they're making the plan. So you can't just tell yourself, oh, I'm going to cut out fast food, because then what are you going to replace it with if you don't have a plan? From all the interviews that I've done for people regarding their eating habits, that's been the number one issue, is that they don't have a plan regarding their eating. They don't know what to do. They're always catching stuff at the last minute. So that becomes a major issue for most people. Small changes that eliminate the unhealthy habits can be in your plan. So maybe you start with a really simple plan where all you're doing is eating, changing your breakfast, and you're going to eat a breakfast every day at a certain time. And it's going to consist of these things, and you're going to pay attention to how your body feels. And we'll talk more about mindful eating as this goes along, and discuss how that kind of incorporates into the overall eating behaviors. So maybe you're just going to cut out soda for the first week and replace it with water. So that's a good start. Or you are then going to meal plan your lunches, those kinds of things as well. So you have to decide what your overall plan is going to be and break it down into manageable chunks so that it's not overwhelming. So take a step back, kind of start thinking about what diet you want to do. And I hate that term because it's very negative. Start thinking about how you want your lifestyle to be and what you want your plan to be, given what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat, and what your family may need. So these things are highly personal. So you have to spend a little bit of time kind of thinking through that, and it's not easy to do alone. So I encourage people to connect with, either if you have a nutritionist that you want to work with, if your primary care knows something about the dietary needs, if you want to work with a health coach. There's plenty of us out here that will actually help you design those plans based upon what you need for your body. There's also some research coming out about specific genetics and how we process different things that can help us find our ideal diet. That's relatively new, and I don't know how effective it is yet because I haven't looked at that. So I'm definitely interested in what people have to say, if they've been successful on some of those things, or unsuccessful. I had seen another one come out recently that I'm going to do a little bit of research on, kind of see if that is something that people could use to help understand their body and make the changes that they need to make, and make those behavioral changes to get them where they want to be. So I will try to keep up on the science for you and kind of bring those to you as I hear them. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and connect on the website and see if we can set up some health coaching if you need that. So again, have a great day and good luck, everyone. Thank you.